Today is the 17th day of September. Time is 9 o'clock. The Board of Commissioners is in session to conduct this weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. Can we get you to identify yourself? Around the corner.
Paul Carney, Operations.
Deborah Phillips, Operations.
Andrea Byrne, Human Resources.
John Blake, Paramedics.
Tim Sturgis, Clerk's Office.
Tim Klein, Treasurer's Office.
Mike Williams, Steelhead Land Use Consultant.
Brad Smith, Assessor's Office.
Tracy Smith, Prosecutor's Office.
Amy Taylor, Prosecutor's Office.
Real IT guy.
Keith Terbordy with the Clerk's Office.
Richard Beck, Development Services.
Well, thank you. Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, there's a change to the daily agenda.
Okay.
I move to move the Human Resources staff meeting from 11:30 this morning to 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. The daily agenda's been changed. Human Resources staff at 2, it says 2 a.m., but I doubt that's what it really is. It's 2 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, good enough. Moving on, we have some unfinished business. This will require a motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
I'll move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. First item is application 2024-00314, CPA ZCDA CUPMSP.
Do you want to take up the volunteer board first?
You're right, thank you. We missed that. We have volunteer board appointment, Tracy Smith to the Healthcare Trust. That's our volunteer board that helps with our healthcare. Is there any discussion or issues on that? If not, I'll take a motion.
I move to reappoint Tracy Smith to the Healthcare Trust Board, term expiring 9/30/2027.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, we've done that. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, now we've already voted to remove the unfinished business from the table, and I've already announced the application that we're gonna be discussing. Kirshner Holders, could you give us a brief review of that and what we're doing there?
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This was a project that you considered at both your July 24th and August 14th public hearings. If you recall, this was about a 40-acre site, just under 40 acres south of the prisons on the southeast corner of Vista in Cunamora. The applicant had proposed 2 contractors' yards and a composting facility, one for themselves and one was for the potential to lease to other contractors. They were proposing to rezone a portion of the site, if you recall that industrial. And after considering all the evidence and testimony at these public hearings, as well as considering potential lease language, you voted at the August 14th public hearing to approve the contractor's yard and composting facility for the applicant under current zoning, but to deny the request to change the comp plan, rezone a portion of the site to industrial. So staff has simply just crafted some findings that support that decision and present those for your consideration this morning.
Okay, any discussion from the board? Because we've had this twice now already, so we are fully aware. All right, any other discussions or issues? I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve application number 202400314 CPA-ZC-DA-CU-MSP Kirshner Holdings.
I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Based on the findings and facts and conclusions of law, I can support that. Call for the question. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, there was kind of a split kind of decision here. You're denying a portion
Right.
as well as approving. Just want to clarify that that's your intention.
Does that need to be in the motion
It
specifically?
might help to clarify that you're denying specifically the application of the CPA-ZCSDA to clarify that portion's denied, but the
All right,
rest
we can take it, do another motion for the denial.
So it's the CPA ZC
ZC-DA is denied,
Denied.
and the CUMSP is approved.
Right. Okay,
All right, I'll restate the motion then that, regarding application 202-400-314 Kirschner Holdings, the board is, denying, the CPA-CC-DA and approving the CU-MSP.
I second that motion.
okay. Now for the clarified motion. We have it clarified. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we'll take up application 2024-00933 VAC John Scott. Revised findings and facts and conclusions of law for variance and accessory use application. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, again, this was brought to you last week. We had revised the findings to support your approval of Mr. Scott's variance. The findings that were submitted last week were either a draft or incorrect. The correct findings have been submitted this week and are ready for your consideration.
Okay, now this one, we only have one thing to do on here,
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. Well, is there any discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve application 202400933/V/AC John Scott, based on the revised finding of fact and conclusions of law.
For variance and accessory use application. Go ahead, will you second the motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to new business, we have a resolution, I'll open a public hearing on resolution number 3016. A resolution creating pre-approval list for civil engineering services. Any discussion or any issues to be presented to the board on that? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve.
Close the public hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We gotta close the public hearing. I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 3016. Thank you.
I move to approve resolution number 3016, creating pre-approved list of for professional civil engineering services. Authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. I'll open the public hearing on resolution 3017, a resolution clarifying for policy regarding the provision of health insurance to Ada County employees. Okay, any questions or discussion on that resolution? Okay, I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 3017. Call for a motion.
I'll move to adopt resolution number 3017 as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. All right, we have another item. I'll open the public hearing on a provisional exemption. A provisional exemption for a piece of property owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Is there any discussion on this issue? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing on the provisional exemption. I'll call for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the provisional exemptions on parcel R 0623170180 and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now we have operations. We have 3 change orders. First one is change order number 2 to the coroner's office. It's a decrease of $3,529.30. Any questions or discussions on this change order? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to accept change order number 2, Coroner's Office Facility Inspection Services, agreement number 14208-1-22 for decrease of $3,529.30.
I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is change order number 1 to Morris Hill Generator Automatic Transfer Switch Replacement. The decrease of $5,000. Any discussion or issues on this or change order? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve change order number 1 to agreement number 15392, Morris Hill Generator Automatic Transfer Switch Replacement, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is change order number 1 to Ada County Sheriff's Office Access Control System Upgrade. It's a decrease of $10,000. Any questions on this one? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve change order number 1 as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, any further questions? Again, this is a decrease. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries, thank you. All right, now we have alcohol license and catering permits. Any questions or discussions on any of the alcohol licensing or catering permits? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I move to accept the 5 catering permits and 1 license transfer as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, now we have any kind of a report we get from the clerk's office. Go ahead.
Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. Quick update from our team. I wanted to first touch on the front counter remodel project. I see we've got Treasurer Mon and team, as well as operations. We've had some phenomenal partnership. I realize it's been incredibly distracting on the first floor with jackhammers and saws and drills, and I can't envision what that experience is like for the citizens of Ada County. But despite that, huge shout out to our front counter team. They're doing a phenomenal job helping people get through the court system. I pulled analytics last week, and I was shocked to see that despite all of that distraction and closed windows and whatnot and makeshift working stations, the average wait from the kiosk to work with one of our representatives was 50 seconds. So I think despite all of our distractions, a lot of jurisdictions would love to have that kind of stat in their back pocket.
Can you work on that and get it down to 25?
Chairman, with the distractions, that's going to be a challenge, but
All right.
we'll keep pushing forward.
And just as a comment, I would ask you to instruct the city of Boise because their kiosk thing is not nearly as efficient.
Fair, Chairman. Had worse encounters with other jurisdictions as well. But we're excited. The project's moving as well as we would hope. So we are about 60 days out from swapping from the east side to the west side on the demolition. Which puts us then at that point 60 days out from project completion. So we're really excited with the front counter project. To have our representatives eye to eye with the citizens is going to be a phenomenal experience. Again, focused on that customer service that I hope to get down to your request there, Chairman. But to have conference space and to be able to utilize the space behind that kind of the lapse of spaces that we have now, it'll just help us with workflows with so many other things. So excited to report on that. Outside of that, we've got a bit of an election coming up. So we've got to get Mr. Saul Sallard back from pill and sick and gearing up for November 5th. But that's what we're focused on, sir.
All right, well, great. When does the absentee ballots go out?
Good question, Chairman. September 20th will be the first batch. I just looked at the stats. 32,000 requests have already been in. So that September 20th batch will be a large one. We're anticipating 50 to 60,000 total, so big.
Well, good. And the ballot verifier is working?
Chairman, it is, and I'm glad to repeat that Katie Reed was just in front of our peers in Detroit, Michigan, and accepted the annual award from the Election Center. And so we have a pretty fancy plaque down in our office. Pretty proud of it, but
Okay.
it is working and really proud of that. It's it's funny to see it growing amongst the other states now. It's picking up a lot of national momentum.
Well, great. Michigan can use it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anything else from clerk on the elections? All right, next up is our claims journal. I would accept a motion on our claims journal.
I'll move to authorize payment of claims on the Claims Journal dated September 13th, 2024.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have personnel actions. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we have the esteemed Brad from our assessor's office. Famous Brad.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners, good morning.
Morning.
We have a pretty good pace going on, so I'll just keep it at that. We have 42 tax cancellations. These are from House Bill 292, which there's no deadline for the homestead exemption, and then we have a couple of casualty loss exemptions on there. So.
Okay. Again, I'll say for the record that these are not actually cancellations, these are adjustments, and that's because that's what the code calls them.
That's correct.
So, anyway, if we have any questions, the adjustments are also listed here. I can see the cancellations, there's an adjustment on here.
Mr. Chairman, this format is typically, which I do have an itemized sheet which shows the actual numbers on it.
No, not the numbers, but there is just one adjustment and the other are cancellations.
Correct.
All right, well, I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve the tax cancellations as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. You got any other good information for us from
Nothing
the
to share
assessor's office?
today. unless- Everyone's super busy over there. I mean, we reappraised about 45,000 parcels. Our DMVs are doing about 5,000 customers a week. So, I mean, we're just busy year round. It's just nonstop. So,
In spite of the state's efforts to,
in spite, that is correct.
people want a personal contact.
At this point,
I
they
think
sure
so.
do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that trend will change in time, but we're gonna hang on to it for as long as we can.
You got that CUNA office about ready to open?
Yeah, there's been some delays. There has been a change of plan, what I've heard. So instead of building a new facility, a small facility just for the DMV, they're actually gonna build a larger facility, and they're actually gonna move some of their operations in there, and then they're gonna remodel some of their old space for us. So that's the latest I've heard, which has pushed it down the road.
That'll be a little while
A little while, yeah, but we are still working on it, so.
then. All right,
Yep,
well, great. All right, well, thank you.
thank you.
Now I see we have our distinguished treasurer on the bridge. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Do you have something for us?
I just wanted to comment on these tax cancellations or adjustments approved today and in recent weeks. We are actively processing these so that they will be reflected on the 2024 tax bills that we will generate in November. So in other words, when we produce the bills, they will be at the lower tax amounts. So wanted to make that clear. And then also we are preparing letters for these tax cancellations or adjustments that are created prior to the bills, just clarifying to the taxpayer how they can understand this adjustment on their bill. So just wanted to let you know we are working on those. So those bills will include all of these tax cancellations that we're seeing now through the end of October.
Well, great. Great. Anything else for us, Madam Treasurer?
That's it from me.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next up, we have approval of minutes. I'll accept the motion.
I move we approve the minutes of the meeting, open business meeting 8/27/2024, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next up, we have two events at the Barber Park Education and Event Center. Any questions or issues with the events? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. All right, we have a number of agreements on the agenda today. There's a large amount. Most of these agreements are merely renewals because, as most everyone understands, we only enter into agreements 1 year at a time, and so all these agreements need to be renewed. Is there any questions or issues on any of the agreements?
Looks like we have a couple clerk-related ones, number 16 for printing ballots. So, seems like that should have been signed a while ago. How come we're signing it this late in the game?
Chairman, Commissioner Davidson, good question. Agreement number 14551-3-24 is listed on 16 on the agenda. That was an amendment, so the contract had some financial changes. It went up a little bit. I do know that there was no red flags from Elections Director Saul Seiler, which that alone says a lot to us, so, but the numbers did change.
And the agreements are in place until the end of the year. This is an amendment to the current agreement.
That's correct, Chairman. Thank you.
You also got one for the ballot auditor system with Severa.
Chairman, Commissioner Davidson, yes, sir, on agenda number 19 as well on the agenda. Similar, that's our Severa partnership that works on the ballot verifier. And there were some financial changes on that as well, but similar response, Chairman Beck. Thank you.
Yes, that agreement is in place, and it will be in place until the end of the fiscal year, which is the end of September, and this is an amendment to that agreement.
Correct, thank you, Chairman.
Yes. Okay, any other questions or issues?
Now we have number 22 is a renewal agreement between Ada County and City of Boise for lease of office space in the courthouse. I always bring this one up each year. Maybe I'll throw it to operations, but always, with space at a consideration, are we able to continue to lease that to Boise? Is there any entity in Ada County that'd be better served with that space?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the space is a small space that they have on, look down on the second floor. We have it for the city of Boise and for Garden City as well, that the team uses when they come over for court services. And so at this time, there really isn't a need to expand into that space. That's something that we could look at as we continue forward each year.
Okay, any other questions or issues about any of the agreements? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chairman, just as a note as well, some of these amendments to these are required by the legislature. The legislature requires us to put
Certain language in.
items in there as well, so some of these amendments are that as well. But I move that we approve the amendments as listed on the agenda, or agreements as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have weekly indigent items. Is there any questions or discussions on the weekly indigent items? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to accept the recommendations of the indigent services staff as listed on the summary of cases dated September 17th, 2024, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we've reached the end of our agenda. Is there any other business that we need to be taken up at this time? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. Today is the 17th day of September. The time is 9:26. The board is in session acting as a board of Ada County Emergency Medical Services District for its weekly open business meeting. All three commissioners are present. We also have with us in the room, start over here,
Troy Hoppy from Boise State Public Radio.
Troy Oppie,
Tim Sturgis, Clerk's Office.
John Blake, Paramedics.
real IT guy. Okay, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, there are not.
Okay, first item on our business is the claims journal. I'll accept a motion on the claims journal.
Mr. Chairman, I move with you, we authorize payment of the claims in the EMS Claims Journal dated September 13th, 2024, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We next up have personnel actions. I'll accept a motion on personnel actions.
I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Thank you. You've heard the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have approval of the minutes. I'll accept a motion on the approval of the minutes for 8:27 and 9:10.
I move that we approve the minutes for the Emergency Medical Services District for 8/27/2024 and 9/10/2024.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have agreements. We have two agreements. These are also renewal agreements. Any questions or issue on the renewal agreements? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to adopt the agreement number 10596-11-24 and agreement number 15585-1-24 is listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
And authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second it for you.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Are any issues or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, we get an EMS update.
Mr. Chair,
You got 30
Commissioners.
minutes. You don't have to take it all.
Which I'll take 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's just brief today. The CAD reconciliation that we started several weeks ago continues. We're probably in the 95th, 97th percentile done with it. I thought that was going to be the rough equivalent of a soup sandwich, but the person that we have working on it, putting it together, has done exceptionally well. And so that outage and the difficulty associated with reconciling all those records has turned out quite well.
Excellent.
Other than that, smooth sailing for the time being.
Smooth sailing. All the ambulances are running on time.
We'll say relatively smooth. How about that for the time being?
All right.
Trains are running on time.
Trains are running on time.
That-
And they're all working properly.
Yes.
All right. Well, good enough. So unless there's any further business to be brought before the board, I will be adjourned. Thank you.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.